You're such an asshole.
This is the last video. Cappy's going to be gone for a while. Let's go through. This comes from Pringles can with veins. Regular guy. Howdy, Cappy. YouTube decided to not allow my super chat, so I'd like a video response. And it made me think of a bigger question. Corpos have caused a massive problem via only utilizing one tool to fix all their problems. Same thing as the lady folk, isolation, and shame. Companies like YouTube and Facebook silence people they deem to use wrong speak. This is why I have to use ridiculous words like Nebraska and raisining. I was given a 90-day ban for saying the dreaded PDF files don't re-offend. Got another ban for saying women who lie about the raisining word should be put on the sex offender registry. Relatively tame common sense thoughts still banned. Yep. There's all these problems in the world. There's evil in the world. We got to identify the evil. But man, Corpos and Karens, you do not like us pointing out threats. Ty Lindsay, step one, identify the threat. We can't even do that without having our hands tied. Like, okay. Oh my God, why didn't Daniel Penny save me? I had a girl on Hinge start quoting SA, not South America, not South Africa, sexual type of action that's not good. See, I can't say it. We can't talk about it, even though we're trying to prevent it from happening to you girls. I had a girl on Hinge start quoting certain types of statistics when I asked her for coffee. What a fun. Man, I'm sorry, Pringles. I know it's not your request, but goddamn, man, you're going on coffee. She starts bringing up that, huh? Dude, that would just shut me down. I'd be like, dude, I am so tired. And I hate the Eagles, man. All these negative waves. Don't hit me with them negative waves so early in the morning. I told her she was a crazy person. Good for you. Good for you. And I would no longer be interested in talking to her. Good for you, man. You helped out the next guy. She somehow got me in trouble with it. And if you don't like what I say, then I'm going to ruin your life. Dude, the real, you gals know, you feminists know you're the real fascists, right? You're the real Nazis. You're the ones that anyone has the wrong opinion. You have to lessen their life. You have to get them fired. You need them punished. You want to throw them in jail in the United Kingdom. I kept getting prompts every time I spoke to people warning harassment and bullying will not be tolerated, etc. And the quality of the matches I was getting went down drastically. There you go. The point is that they isolate men from groups, shame them when they speak, don't hire them, set them in the box of defective toys, and then wonder why men aren't contributing to society. I was watching the Ask an Older Man podcast. Is that the old guy from Dubai? In a term called thwarted belongingness was used. Essentially, men have tried to fit in with people, the group, and every time they do, the group traumatizes them, and so they stop trying to socialize with people. Think of Pavlov's dogs and the shocked cages. They've essentially shocked young men and boys from trying to connect with people, not thinking of the second order and third order consequences. What that looks like, men don't produce for them. Men don't speak or ask girls out on dates, and men don't defend or maintain society. My point is the fourth order consequences. Now we have men and boys who are immune to shame and isolation. They fed us poison for so long that we don't get sick anymore. My question is to you, Cappy. Are female in-group preferences and shaming tactics are female in-group preferences and shaming tactics have removed the sting of isolation from men? Yes, I agree. The results of which are causing long-term genetic, economic, and social effects. Yes. Look, I'll even simplify for you even more. You cannot ostracize one entire sex. I don't care what people say. Nearly all the creatures in the world are binary. You need both a male and female sex for creatures, kangaroos, whatever, to continue. You will end your species if you ostracize and force one entire sex to leave your community or the pride of lions or the flock of seagulls or whatever. And there are going to be tremendous consequences, no matter which animal we're talking about, humans, orangutans, ants, and whatever other creatures are out there. Yeah, there's going to be all sorts of consequences. Here in in the human world, we have a lot of socializing and economics and finances, things that animals typically don't. But yeah, genetics, economics, and social effects. One, are they aware of the problem they create and just apathetic? No, they are not aware. They are spoiled first worlders who have never had to fully face the consequences of their decisions because we socialize costs through socialism and bailouts. These are the weakest generation of men that are going to become the hardest of times. They like the average American is 100% solipsistic. They don't even think you're a fellow human being, right? They think you're just a robot or an NPC there to serve them and take care of them. And why isn't Manbot serving me now? I have a friend, a colleague down in Australia, and he is an exceptionally handsome, good-looking, and tremendously successful man. The women treat him like an object in the sense that they're like, finally, a man I deserve. And they get pissed when he doesn't commit to them because they've never viewed men or other people for that matter as a human being that needs to be convinced that you're a good person. Because as far as they're concerned, he is not a person. He's an object. He is thing. He is go to the boyfriend store and order the highest expensive boyfriend in a box. But that's every human being. So no, they are not aware of the problem they created. You could see it when they really don't know. You get good old Scott Galloway there, who's like so timid, like, oh my God, well, maybe men are humans and they have preferences. I love women. I love women. Oh my God, women are the most. Yeah, thanks, God. We never heard that before. They can't figure out the solutions. They don't ask what men want. They think it's just some kind of policy or a government program or academics and the psychology profession. Like, oh, we need to fight toxic masculinity. See, it's really hurting men. It's like, no, they just want hot women who are nice with big tits. That's it. That's it. They really but you can see it go. It's not just men and women and corporations doing it to men. I mean, most people in the United States are solipsistic. How dare Menbot not continue doing Menbot things? They're supposed to. Don't they know who I am? It's like the robots are shutting down. How dare they? Their thing. So, yeah, they're not aware of the problem. And they've also propagandized the West that men are evil and we're toxic and we're patriarchy. And none of them have looked at an episode of Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe. And absolutely none of them have read my book, A World Without Men. They don't look at the Department of Labor statistics, say, wait, what percent of the electrical grid is maintained by men? They're just, why is it the light going on? Oh my God, Trump and tariffs. 2, should men intervene in this catastrophe, or is this just an enjoy the decline situation? Why would you intervene? Dude, it's not like we're not treated well and we don't get a return on investment. They will fucking arrest you like Daniel Penny. You are punished when you help them. So no, men should not intervene. Men should isolate. Men should, I don't mean leave society, but you should set up your defense. You should hunker down. You should start squirreling away your nuts. You should take care of yourself and prepare for everything yourself and not even help other people. Intervene. Intervene? dude, you're going to be called all sorts. You think they're going to, oh, thank you for saving us, sirs. Like, look, okay, in a very simplified sense, it's not this simple, but we could make the case that a lot of women are held mind slaves and captives. They've been brainwashed by corporations to be the girl boss. And you're going to go in there and try and save them. Milady, I shall rescue you from this 70-hour-a-week job where you pay the taxes and the rents and all that. Don't you? They're gonna attack. They would call you all the names in the world. They're not looking to be saved. Wasn't that the quote in The Matrix? Some people are so gone, so helplessly encased in the matrix that when you try to free them, they will view you as the enemy and attack you. You will have no audience. Look, that's basically what the Republicans are trying to do, is save Western civilization, right? And look at the hatred they get from at least half the population. I don't mean women necessarily, but I do mean half the population. Yeah, this is an enjoy the decline situation. Look, they've treated you like shit, so I don't know why you'd want to help them out, right? They don't view you as human. I don't mean they're like slamming on you or think that you're beneath them. They don't think you exist. How dare Manbot not do thing that I needed to do, right? They certainly do not care about what you want, so there's no time, financial return on investment incentive for you to participate in this. And if you were to go somehow intervene, you are going to get attacked. These are ideologues. These are zealots. And I'll tell you this, they're way more robotic than Manbot. Manbot also occasionally has the courage to say, I want a girl with big tits and a blowjob. Oh my God, shoot the Manbot. These people are way more brainwashed. Like, at least every man understands. Well, yes, I too would like a girl with big tits and a blowjob. Yes. You tell girls, hey, maybe you don't want to work 80 hours a week and have student loan debt and drink yourself to sleep every night. Why don't you not, I'm not saying you go find a man, but have you ever thought about not doing this and doing something a little bit more pleasant? They got them hoodwinked into being slaves, man. I've never understood, like, Sheryl Sandberg. I'm going to vote to take half my fucking wealth away. Like, what? Okay. No, this is like looking at a drug addict. You don't intervene. You let them hit bottom before you bother helping them out. 3, what should we as men prepare for in society where our younger brothers have no fear of isolation, jail, or shame? Well, I don't think jail is gonna have that much effect, because what caused, the school shootings or whatever else is you were lied to, right? You were promised one thing, it was never delivered. I think our younger brothers, right? And Thinking Ape pointed us out. There's less red pill rage because the internet has made the truth amply available and way earlier on to young men and women, if they want to listen to it, than in times past during the analog days. So they're not misled. They don't misinvest their entire youth, and therefore they're not angry when there's no food, there's no financial stability, right? Men are not going to college into debt. They're not chasing women, wasting their money. They're saving their money. I mean, I'm not saying rent is affordable, but they're staying at home. They know getting their own places are going to get them laid. They're not buying fancy cars, right? So there's going to be less stress, and there's going to be, I'd argue, no confusion as to what's going on. They know. Therefore, they're not angry or lied to. I mean, the angry people are the Democrats who were promised some freaking socialist utopia, and you girls are going to have your 6-foot guy and all that other shit. They're the ones that are pissed off. But they were lied to. What should we as men prepare for in society where our younger brothers have no fear of socializing, jail, or shame? I am not worried about jail or crime. I think that's actually going to be less. I mean, you're always going to have criminals, sure. I think, frankly, it's a good thing that they have no fear of social isolation, and they have no shame. And now here's the thing, Shame is necessary because not everything requires physical violence that you're physically punished by an authority, whether that's your dad or the police. Shame is a good thing. Like, dude, buddy, I know who you are, man. Let me tell you about a guy. So where was I? What airport? Oh, I was in Minneapolis and I'm walking past and there's this black dude and uh he had a hat on like this. I'm not critiquing him about that, obviously, because I like these type of hats. But he, embarrassingly to the black man, was the dope bag that had his pants down around his crotch but above his knees. But it wasn't just that. He had a like a diamond encrusted belt, a rhinestone belt going around it, and he had pink underwear on. Like that was the fanciest, cleanest, whatever that look is called, douche nuts, whatever that fashion is called, droopy pants. It's not the South Park episode where the kid's holding his junk. In Cartman's there. That's the meme going around. This guy put effort into it. It was very fancy. What should happen in times if we're a healthy society, I, as a fellow man or his friends or his dad, would have said, "What the fuck are you doing? You look like a fucking moron." I know it's very oh boy, are you edgy? I look, well, where's he going? He's going to Atlanta. I'm like, is that the thing down in Atlanta? I can't believe people down in Atlanta think that's cool, black or not. But he was proud, looking like a fucking fool. That's where you need shame. However, we're not talking about a constructive shame to help that guy pull up his pants and maybe get a job and not live a life of pain and misery and poverty for the rest of his days. The shame we have here from society and, as you mentioned, women towards men is an erroneous shame. It's a shame of get back on the plantation. It really is that. They basically, women and corporations want to have their cake and eat it too. They wanted new girl boss and we don't need no man and we're going to have a welfare state. And then we're like, okay, well, if you don't need us, we're going to go away or work less. We're not going to get married as much. And then they get all pissed. Why aren't you men paying for our dates? Men are not economically available. Men are horrible at that. Men are getting overweight. Why are you men work? Oh my God, the labor force participation of men is going down and the number of hours they work, which they don't cite either. It's going down too. Men are just losers. Why? It's like, no, you're not shaming us because we're losers. You're shaming us because we're leaving our old roles, which was to support society in the past. You said you didn't need our support. You tax the fuck out of us if we do try to work hard. You, for lack of a better word, hate us and blame us for your problems, or certainly make it known you don't like us all that much. Why the fuck would we waste bits of our finite, precious life investing in you? They don't want to give up the production. That's what it is. They may not think it. They don't think that much. They really do believe you're robots. I really think the solipsism is that high. How dare you men not work? Why aren't the slaves slaving away anymore? And when shame comes from that to make you a slave, to go back to a role that is not only outdated, an outdated traditional role, but one that means, well, I got to work basically 2 jobs. So I got to pay the taxes for the new independent, feminist, girl boss, socialist environment we got today. But then you want me to be Ward fucking Cleaver and work and buy you a house and pay for your fucking shit? No, they don't realize you're human. They don't realize that you have a finite life. They don't realize that you have taste and preferences and requirements of society. They don't realize there's another person. This is not, in their minds, this is not 2 people sitting at a business table negotiating a contract where there's another entity who has requirements, taste, and preferences. They are on an assembly line, and you're one of them robot arms that puts the door on the car on the assembly line. Like, why isn't the robot arm putting the door on the car on the assembly line? They they do not think you're serious. I'm not even exaggerating, because otherwise they'd be more proud. Well, wait, hang on. Men have feelings too. Men have requirements. Men have needs. At least back in the day, they admitted that. Right? Is there any? I'm not looking for sympathy, but is there any logical acknowledgement you are a sentient entity a separate human being that has your own tastes and preferences. They don't. They're just pissed. You boys aren't buying current girl boss, Shaniqua in a wheelchair, lesbian, Superman, race swap video game. Why don't you buy woke, degenerate video game? And then they get pissed at Manbot and the robot arm that is not putting on the door anymore. How? Oh, you are a bigoted, sexist Manbot robot. Why don't you eat the slop, stupid fucking non-thinking entity? So when you get that shame, they are not considering you and your requirements and your desires and your preferences. And where I think you and I disagree, you are worried about men. Well, let me go to your questions here. Make sure I read. Are they aware that they could probably create? No. Should men intervene? We can't. Ask Daniel Penny. What should we as a men for society do where our younger brothers have no fear of isolation, jail, and shame? We, as perhaps older men, you're worried about younger men. I think all men, regardless of age, we should be doing what we're doing right now. And that is hang on, look at my notes. God damn it. I hate this thing. All that's happened is we've realized that society is wrong, right? Beforehand, 30 years ago, the only common variable is you, right? Boomer bosses. Oh, you just didn't pull yourself up with the bootstraps hard enough. No, I think one of the largest epiphanies, philosophical advancements made in the past 20 years, 25 even, is that we've started to realize that there are instances where the individual is right and society is wrong. And men are starting to realize, no, society is wrong. American Psychological Association, Gillette, which is Procter & Gamble, Women's Studies, corporations, the Democrat Party, women, feminists, you're wrong. We're not asking that we are bowed down and worship, but you have to factor in the fact that men are human beings and they're not going to be what you want to fit your fucking psychopathic, feminist, socialist, Nazi idea of a man. Like the hilarity, you expect a man to bust his ass off, pay for everything, be sensitive and a pussy like fucking David Hogue, but then this masculine, what's his name, Gray, and to willingly vote to enslave themselves to raise randos that you care about because you got a virtue signal. That's slavery. That is absolute slavery. We haven't even talked about men wanting to have sex, which, of course, women are appalled by the fact, generally, or insulted at least. You just want one thing. Well, we want more than one thing, but that's the most important thing. They're pissed off about it, pissed off about male nature. And so there's a war, and you men have oppressed us, and you make more money than that, and we're going to change the rules. And they can do that through democracy and voting and all their simp votes, and all you men are like, oh, yes, madam, whatever you want. You're a Minnesota man. But at the end of the day, men are realizing society is wrong. And what they're trying to get us to do is also wrong. It is not, we have a right to, earn food, clothing, shelter, maybe find a nice girl, maybe not because it requires another person. But we don't owe you our labor. We don't. You could shame us for not liking fat chicks. No, you're wrong. Fat chicks are gross. Right? We don't have to explain that about men. Fat men are gross. No, I'm not going to fuck an ugly cow. No, that's not a woman. That's a guy who cut his junk off. No, that's not a woman. That's a scumbag who won all the swimming records at Penn State. You're wrong. And no, I don't have to go to college. And no, bachelor's is not required and master's preferred. And no, I don't have to attend DEI. And no, I don't have to tolerate your corporal boomer psychopathic bullshit. No, that person's not going to pay back their loans. No, you shouldn't repackage those loans into asset-backed securities and sell them to naive pension fund managers. No, I'm not wrong. There are 4 lights. And so once men have realized that society is wrong, and a close second, that they do not have men's interests at all. They do not consider men's interests. And I don't think they actively hate men either. Well, some feminists do. But men are realizing that society is wrong and therefore you cannot interact with society. And then once men realize society is wrong, they realize that it doesn't matter what society says. Surprise, society is saying the things that's going to benefit society, corporations, governments, Democrat Party, teachers, women, whatever else, right? That's that's what society is going to say. But we look at it and say, well, that doesn't benefit us. So it's not. I don't even think men are getting pissed. I think men are pissed to a certain extent. Men are just realizing that when someone is wrong and they are not offering us what we want in life, right? I'm trying to paint it as not even malicious, right? Let's say some friends want to. What do I hate doing? I don't like. What would I not like to do? Okay. Let's say I have some people who are friendly towards me and they say, we want to go to brunch at Sunday at 11. And I do not want to go to brunch, right? Now, normally I would say I don't want to go to brunch because it doesn't benefit me. There's a line, the food ain't that great. It's a pain in the ass. I don't like crowds. Most people say, we get it, we understand. Society is, why don't you like brunch? There's something wrong with get back to going to brunch. Right? You don't get the brunch treatment where your friend's like, oh, you don't want to go? Oh, okay, well, we'll let you know when we're done. You get this shame because they really, really want you to go to brunch. But that's because they're not considering you at all. They're not considering what you want, and they're going to force you to go to brunch. By God, by golly. And so I don't think men are like, oh, you're our enemy, although you certainly kind of are in a way. Kind of like the Borg mindlessly attacks you, but you're not offering. One, we know you're wrong, right? Two, you're not offering anything that we want is going to benefit us. And if that's the case, then we don't really care anymore what you think, right? Society has demonstrated it very clearly. You do not care about men being humans with their own tastes and preferences. You only care about men in terms of the capacity and role in which they could serve society, which I understand if men are going to participate in society, they got to benefit you too. But when you're not going to consider what men want, there's no compensation, there's no ROI, whether that's sex, stable marriages, children, low taxes, no criticism, like let me smoke my pot or look at my Nebraska or whatever. I don't know. Once we realize that you don't care about providing some kind of rate of return, you don't hang out with these people anymore. You have nothing to do with them. So I don't think there's this revenge that men are going to want to get on society, especially now that we have the internet. People like Thinking Ape, me and all these other people were the truth about society and what they think of men. They're not lied to anymore. They are more quickly diagnosing that society is wrong. Society doesn't care what men want. Society has an ulterior motive and will not factor your goals and desires in. And so now it becomes like, well, I'm just not going to deal with that shit. There's not even an anger or a hatred. Like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Right? Like young men today, like, I'm not going to college. I'll show you. I'll not go to college. No, college ain't worth it. That's not worth that's not worth the rate of return. Asking girls out. Why would I ask that girl out? I've asked out several girls before, both online and in person. 90% of the time I get shot down. Well, online it's more, and in person it's less, but it didn't result in the date. And the one date I had, it wasn't fun. Like, she talks about SA, right? Pringles? It's your coffee date. Fuck. Obviously doesn't care, right? Let's use that as an example, Pringles, right? Because it makes my entire point, right? Let's say I'm going out with a girl, right? I don't know anything about her. I'm not going to be your stereotype libertarian and say, what do you think about central banking, right? I'm not going to be like, what do you think of Donald Trump or crypto? I acknowledge that's another human being, even though she might be a leftist. I acknowledge that's another human being who has tastes and preferences and minds and emotions. She would probably like to talk about herself, which is my default policy when it comes to conversation. So what about this? What about that? And then I look for things that are interesting, and then I follow up, and then I make funny little jokes. You know, I walk dogs. Or do you walk the dogs, or did the dogs walk you? Whoa, they kind of walk me at times. Oh, I bet it's the bigger dog, right? I don't say, let me tell you about the evils of central baking. Because I'm not a psychopath. I realize there's another human being there. That girl did not do that with you. She wanted to talk about SA, huh? That was on the first date. So let me ask you something, Pringles. Do you think she gave a shit? Do you think she thought that you were a human being? No. And so I think what's happening, this is actually a good development. Once you realize a party, whether it's an entire society or a girl on a coffee date, does not acknowledge you're a human being, does not acknowledge that you have tastes and preferences. I'm not saying bows down and delivers on everything, but tries to make it that your time spent on them has a rate of return and is enjoyable, and meaning you're living life and not wasting it. They're not wasting your time. Until society does that, there's no reason for men to give a shit what society wants. The fact society is wrong means you can tell them to fuck off. Fat chicks are beautiful. Get the fuck out of here. No, there are 18. No, there's not. No, there's not. You should contribute more to society and give back to the community. No, I shouldn't. Follow your heart. Money will follow. Fuck off. And once you realize society is wrong and they don't care about you, they don't even have to do anything to you. You just say, yeah, not for me. And now men are walking away and they're doing their own thing. And I think that's where there is this renaissance sort of happening. And it's not going to be this big, beautiful, productive thing. But I think, well, I don't think it's already happening. Men are working less. Men aren't going to college. Men are focusing more on themselves in whatever variety or capacity that might be. Maybe are there greater works of art? Sure. Men doing their entrepreneurship? Sure. But I think the renaissance is that men are just not as tortured or taxed or confused as they used to be. Right? Coach Greg Adams had to go through a lot of shit, man. He's my age. His modern day counterpart, imagine a young to-be Coach Greg Adams, 24-year-old kid, young man. He doesn't have to go get married and get divorced. He's not confused. He if anything, the renaissance is that men realize, no, we're human. No, we have the right to like what we like. There is no shame in liking redheads with big tits. There is no shame in demanding sex. I mean, we may not get it, but if we're going to interact with you, it's all right. No, there's nothing wrong with us because of the way we were born. Not having that confusion and shame, or what did I do? Oh, no, I didn't make sense. Once you realize society has become a self-serving cult that is going to use you like a battery, you leave, you guys are immune to it. Think about that. You cannot be shamed anymore into second guessing yourselves in your own best interests. And like I said, I don't think we're all going to become Michelangelo and paint the Sistine Chapel, but we sure the fuck are going to live our lives, whatever that might be. For a lot of people, it's going to be chilling out, not doing much of anything, enjoying a nice, quiet, peaceful, leisurely life. For me, I'm going to be hopping on a motorcycle, go ride through some mountains. For some other buddies of mine, it's hiking. For some people, it's cooking or fishing. Whatever it is, in a very real sense, men's chains have been broken by the internet, because we've pointed out, it's not that society doesn't care about you. Society doesn't even know you exist. And it's perfectly all right to tell society to fuck off, because it is not an acceptable proposition. You are finite. You will die. You know what that means? You have every fucking right to demand a rate of return on your time, whether it's going to college, getting a degree, going into the office, working harder than the other person, or working out at the gym. And if you're going to have a relationship, that, yes, well, oh my God, by golly, here comes well-endowed Molly. Yes, if you're going to be in a relationship with a girl, you have every right to be sexually satisfied. And you know what? You know what's really great? You want to talk some Zen level shit? If we don't get what we want out of society, we don't freak out and get pissed off. We just say, cool, on my way, man, out. And so I think I wouldn't. I'm less worried. I think this is a good development. Men are not confused. Men aren't going to get angry anymore, or less angry than they used to. There's going to be less crime. I would love to. I don't know how we'd measure this. Always men would get in trouble when they were younger. Why? Fighting over a girl. I bet you that's gone down, man. I bet you the amount of fights between men or crimes or whatever committed by, like, really, what was it, Troy? Helen of Troy, right? Could you imagine? There's this really cute girl overseas. Let's round up all the men and go invade it. Nah, nah. I don't care how pretty she is, man. I'm playing Expedition 33 right now. So I think what has happened is the internet has liberated men and taken the mask off. You're like, yeah, look, this society don't give a shit about you. They don't. It's not, again, not malicious. They just aren't aware you're alive or you're here. They're pissed because you're not doing the thing that you used to do when society's slowly crumbling and falling apart. But they're wrong. And right, a girl nowadays, you must be gay or small dick or who hurt you. And guys just like, really? Back in the day, that might have hurt. 1988, that might have hurt. Or you might try to, well, I don't know, I'm not gay. You're like, yep, yeah, sure am. Totes my goats with the small dick and the gays. I am. You're right. Enjoy your fucking debt, sweetheart. And I'm sure you're never going to get married and you never be happy. You don't even say that, right? You just, well, that's what you did, right, Pringles? You just told the girl, yeah, I'm not interested in you. Then all of a sudden society gets pissed off that the robot arm did. The robot arm talked back. How dare you talk back to the princess? That's where the danger is. That's where the real fascism comes in. Well, Pringles, you're black. What happens when you leave the black community? What if you're the crab that dare gets out of the bucket and go makes yourself, right? How dare you improve your life? And that has nothing to do male, female. That's just people in general. Yeah. The internet has liberated men, and this is a good thing. I know it's not finances. I know it's not what you wanted. It doesn't pay the rent, but man, you guys are not going to waste the time like my generation did. You guys, and the other thing, you are not going to be confused, and you're going to be less angry. And I'm not going to say you're going to be happy, but you're going to have, Coach Greg, peace and contentment. Peace. It's nice. It's very nice. And it comes in with a built-in show. Watching society just fall apart. Like, oh, geez. So, yes, what can you do? Like I said, finish this off with a practical thing. Hunker down. Make sure you got your shit together. Make sure you got good skills. I got a book linked below called Zero World Problems. It basically get your whole fucking house in order so that, like, I don't really worry about. Part of having high standard living is good sleep. You know what you need for good sleep? You're not worried about shit. But I'm prepared for a collapse. I'm a minimalist for one thing. I got all my guns. I got enough ammo. I got a water supply. Realize I don't control it. That's what you want. Get into prepping. Get a good skills like carpentry so you can fix things. Build your own house. That kind of stuff. Maybe get some investments overseas. I'm not saying you got to prepare for war, but invest some silver, hedge against inflation, make it so you don't need society. Make it so that society can't, so we need you to, no, fuck you. Well, if you don't, we're going to hurt you. Well, with what army? Because there ain't no army no more. And me and my buddies here on this little valley, we're pretty well defended. So go fuck off. It'd be pretty bad if that happens. But right now, dude, just watch society. This is the greatest thing. I mean, really, the book Enjoy the Decline, but I could write a whole new book about watching society fail and become miserable without men. And either because of true ignorance or they got too much pride to admit they were wrong, to try and figure out what everything. Isn't that kind of like every gal under 50 now, like they can't figure out why they're so miserable and they're on their antidepressants? You're missing some dick. There, I solved the problem, everyone. Oh, thank you. It's hilarious. It's entertaining. Like, oh, geez, you can't find. I don't know what the solution could possibly be. I have no idea. Maybe you need a PhD. I know you got a math. If you thought about getting a PhD, I know you got $100,000 handbag, but maybe if you got the Louis Vuitton $150,000 handbag, I think that would be it. Maybe there's just not enough immigrants in your neighborhood. Well, I don't know what it could possibly be. Right? Watch all these sad simps like Democrat men. Oh, please, my lady, touch me now. Watch these corpos try and make shit products and lose billions of dollars. Watching these corpos, we're going to outsource everything overseas. Hey, let me know how your quality control goes. Watching everybody not buy. Oh, no. Did you hear Prime Days? What was it? They're down 41%. Oh, no. We don't buy cheaply manufactured Chinese shit. Oh, no. Inflation went up. Well, my Bitcoin kept up, and so did my precious metals. That sucks to be you. Oh, you mean your master's in political science did not increase with inflation? It has not kept up with inflation? Oh, that's too bad. I don't know what. Yeah, it is. It is Trump's tariffs. Yeah, sure is. Is that what's keeping the wage gap? It's the Trump's tariff this week. And that's where I think you can just enjoy it. And you don't have to shit. Here's the other thing. We don't have to make any efforts to try. Like, you really ought to. No, it's not our problem, man. It's all of them problem. It's all of them problem. Yeah, it would have been nicer. Yeah, it would have been great if girls got thin and we all had sex and we had a family. And then you shut the fuck up and didn't vote for other people that have our money, so you could feel good about raising complete random families you don't know. I don't know. We'd have another car. We could have. But you know what? This is the only movie in town. It's the only movie showing. It's calling Watching Society Collapse and Be Fucking Confused as Hell because they got rid of their men. And we'll wait. You can let us know. Wouldn't it be fun? It would have to require an apology. And it'd have to come from the Democrats. We're like, yeah, we let some crazy people take over. And we used to be the party of labor. We're, blue collar, hardworking men. And we're going to purge the Nepo babies and the artists out. You would really, society will have to apologize to men, but you're going to have to put action for it. You have to lower your taxes. You're going to have to kick out all the immigrants and let us men keep our own jobs in our own country. Ladies would have to get, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. But by God, they will die trying to make their girl boss feminist socialist utopia and it's going to be hilarious. Frankly, watching all these people ruin and waste their lives, becoming madder and madder as they get closer and closer to death, because what they thought in their minds was going to work according to college academics didn't. And at least you guys and any gals that were smart enough, at least we like, oh yeah, what did you do? Well, I kind of wanted kids and all that, but I realized that wasn't going to happen because I'm a fucking empiricist. So I went fishing in Montana. I went kayaking in the Green River. I went and traveled to this place. So I became a really good chef. That's not what I wanted, but at the end of my life, I have no regrets. Society, here's the thing. Society, I know you're too prideful. I know you're too prideful to admit you need us. That's fine. It's fine. Less people for us to have to work for. I mean, if you want, go get my book, A World Without Men, and you'll see who's contributing to the economy and how little. Dude, a commune of take 10 men. What couldn't we do? I'm not saying we're putting rockets up into orbit, but if we had industrious, real men, right, who had skills, not Democrats, real men, yeah, we'd have enough housing and water, probably some kind of sewer system. Shit, we might even get electricity going. Society, you without us? Dude, you guys, after $35 trillion, can't get poor people out of poverty after 60 years. You guys can't do anything. And that's a you problem. So have fun, society. And you know what, society? It's hilarious and entertaining. And it is. It actually has reached a comical stage. Like someone said, you men need a, and yeah. Like some Karen lecturing you. Like it's hilarious now. You need to go to college. You men aren't working enough. And I like, oh. Oh, fuck, what was her name? Tommy Lauren, where she's bitching about Normally women ain't funny, right? Amy Schumer's not very few funny comedians, but Tommy, that was fucking hilarious. That shit's fucking hilarious, man. And look at her. She was actually pissed. She was legit. She's already married. She's still pissed. Well, I don't know. Have you tried shutting the fuck up, lady? Me. Link below. A World Without Men, an analysis of an all-female economy. Both men and women read it, please. I'm sorry. If society and men would read it, I think we come to realize, oh shit, this is why we need men. And you might realize we're not going to solve all our problems, but men do play a role in society. And if you consider what they want, a lot of these problems go away. But that's all right. That's okay. Tell us again how we benefit from patriarchy. Another book for you, men. What do I do in the meantime? Okay, go get the book Zero World Problems. There's a to-do list at the back. You can tear the pages out, put it on your refrigerator, but it goes through all this shit that you can do to improve your life and enjoy it the best you possibly can by increasing your non-financial standards of living. And then, as always, I have my Amazon affiliate link if you would kindly do all your Amazon shopping through that. It's actually not my actual Amazon affiliate link because those links are super long. It goes to my website, assholeconsulting.com/Amazon. There's a link and a logo you can click on. So if you go there first, yes, on the computer, not on your app, that's the real price you pay. You go there, you click on that banner. You don't have to log in, but you can if you want. But all the shopping you do during that session, I get a 5% commission and cut. Costs you nothing extra. Doesn't cost you a penny. Comes straight out of Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos comes here and he gives me the money out of his pocket personally. Let's go to the super chats. Then, oh God, 20. All right, no more super chats. I got to get going. Pooping while standing, $2. Yep, I've become Timmy in the courtroom. Don't give a fuck anymore. Ross the Skunk, $5. If a hot Civil War conflict broke out in the U.S., HR might need a bunker. If a civil war breaks out, I don't know the two factions, what they're going to be. I'm not joking. There's going to be a lot of personal vendettas that are going to, while there ain't no cops or the militaries are busy with each other, there is going to be some vengeance happening on the civilian side. It isn't going to be the civilians sitting down, hunkering down, keeping themselves from the great raid. There are going to be certain groups of people who have made it very difficult for everyone else that you may want to go hide in a bunker. Uber Noob, $2. Rainy day in Thailand today. What were you saying? Toasty Pasty, $2. Bad luck to kill a seedbird. Well, I don't want to kill a seedbird. Alex, $10 generous. I always thought Galloway was biased towards the girl boss narrative and men needing to level up because New York University is not just overpriced to shit, but has been majority females in MBA plus undergrad programs. Galloway is an academic. Galloway, I think he called his wife his partner, although he might be gay. But he used the word partner. He is a leftist. However, they can be right about some things. What he is, I guarantee he's running into this, his Lord and God Almighty, socialism, prevents him, and he is socially, you want to talk about peer pressure, he has a ton of peer pressure to not speak clearly or frankly about men. That's why he's always apologetic, prefacing what he's about to say about men and women with women are amazing, da-da-da-da-da. And that's fine. Good for you, Scott. Welcome to the party, sort of, I guess. But his mealy mouth tapioca, cowardly, ultimately. Cowardice, and so just calling it out black and white. You will not be the thought leader on this one. Maybe you'll help get it into leftist minds like, wow, did you know men are humans too? But thanks, Scott. Thanks for your contributions. Look out, everyone. Here comes Scott Galloway. Woo! Don't give him shit. He is sincere. I believe that. He just has a higher loyalty to socialism, not the truth. Uber Noob, $5. Pretty high cost of freedom, but we're here now. No need to work like a plow horse until 65. Right. You're not a slave anymore. You're not going to do that anymore. And keel over. Too bad guys don't take more advantage. Yep. They are. There's always the simps. There's always guys good. But yeah, the labor force participation rate of men is going down. Men are applying for more disability. Men aren't getting you look. You want men to start investing in society. I guess you're going to have to invest in men. You're going to have to ask them what they want, not tell them what they want. You need more government aid. You need more fat, loud black women in wheelchairs in your video games. Fuck you. Tig biddies. Toasty Pasty, $2. In my opinion, movie Predator is Escape the Woman parody. I haven't seen that since the 90s. MMR, $10. Shaming was the most effective tool for emotional manipulation. Democrats employ it also in language, transphobe, racist, misogynist, etc. Once it's seen, it's easy to ignore. Yeah, like when someone, I remember when you were be accused of being a racist because if you lived in Minnesota, they're just like, oh my God, that's all Minnesotans do. And now it means nothing. Like, oh yeah, okay, It shouldn't have taken 20 years for you all to realize that the Democrats and people who use those words are just adult children. My truth, the king. $5. This is why defend most Gen Z and young Gen Y men who don't exactly try hard to or refuse to become the dutiful beta. Modern day social contract is shit. Yeah, this is why I'm proud of them. I mean, forget women. Corpos are fucking not acceptable. You're just not working. No, like, are you paying me a living wage? I went to college and did all this shit. And now, touch me now. Living wage now? Whoa, hold on. Surprise, you can't find workers. We can't find workers. 2 seconds later. And then we outsourced everything to India, which we were going to do anyway. All right, let us know how it goes. Dre, $2. Do you consider trad cons and PUAs equally harmful to men? No. Pickup artists, I've never had an issue with them. They teach you to overcome your fear and go talk to girls. I think you should be asking girls out in person. Not all the time. I mean, only if it's the right gal or whatever. And trad cons are harmful, but not malicious, right? Dennis Prager is a good man. Matt Walsh is a good guy. Trying to think other, traditional people. They're well-intended. Dave Ramsey. I think I even did a video, like they're flying F4 Phantoms in 2025 for a dogfight. Like, you guys are so outdated, and they do not know that the situation on the ground has changed. Their advice can be as damaging as leftist advice. It absolutely can be. Space Cowboy, $10. It doesn't take much to make a man happy, but when you remove the little in a man's life that does make him happy, he has no choice but to live for himself first. Right. Compare the McMansion to the guy, can men actually live like this? Yes. And they will take that 93% of economic production with them. And they'll live like that just fine. Moy Free Lifestyle for $1, he says hi. My truth, the king. People claim young dudes got chicken tendies and stimmy checks. I say good. Henpecked boomers can enjoy the shit show they created and go be Walmart greeters. I know. Look, at the end of the day, it sucks because it's our fellow countrymen, but let me ask you something. Our fellow countrymen, women included, are they good people? Most Americans are assholes. That's what, and they're lazy. I think it's great. I think it's like, it would suck if everyone got happy and married everyone happy. Like, wait, what about all the asshole behavior for the past 40, 50 years? Now I'm looking at, I'm like, no. The boomers who got divorced and did pot, you should have to be Walmart greeters. You girl bosses who are crying and stressed out every day with 52 years old and you got student loan debt still, you should be stressing out. You millennials who could not line up to fillet Barack Hussein Obama and let all the immigrants into the country and let all that, and now your lives are all, you're just like, yeah, you should be having a midlife crisis right now. And I'm like the previous I'm a little more lenient towards Gen Z because they're younger. We'll find out if you're going to make the same mistakes and believe the bullshit. But yeah, I think everyone does get it. Everyone gets what they deserve. And the epitomal example of that should be painted is the overweight husband and wife who don't love each other anymore, not having sex. I think that's it. I think that's what Americans deserve. your unfuckable spouse who doesn't love you anymore. That's America. And that's what you normies deserve. And you're getting it. It's great. It's great. I tell you about the motorcycle ride I'm going to go riding in. I'm going to be out in Montana bumming around. Did I tell you about that? Let me tell you about that. Space Cowboy, $10. I do find it funny that Democrats will spend millions to solve the mystery of what men want. Republicans don't know what men want either, but at least they're not spitting in men's faces. I think the Republicans kind of do, or at least Fox News does, because they have hot women. I think the Republicans are like, the girl's a ditz, but the lady who's like whatever, the spokesperson for the White House, I think Republicans kind of know. Dre, $2 for men, it's ego. For women, it's money. I think so. Yep. Oh, but yeah, once you let go of your ego, look, and you can't have an ego. Once you realize nobody cares about you, then what's your ego for? Well, what will people think about me? I don't care what people think about me. There's no ego. Oh my God, you're not wearing the clothes. Like, yeah, I don't care what you people think. I think that's the worst thing is how society had me convinced for so long, obviously as a kid and a young man, that I was wrong or I was doing something bad or I just didn't figure out this fucking algorithm of how to be an acceptable person in society. And then when you realize you were all fake and liars and using your parents' money or the bank's money or the government's money to basically flash material things around, and that's it. There was no core. There was no principles. It was all fucking shit. Fuck you. Enjoy your fat, unfuckable wife. And ladies, you enjoy the guy while you're an alpha widow. The guy just turned out to be a piece of shit. I hope you guys deserve everything you have coming to you. And I hope your kids are fucked up in the head too, because you didn't discipline them. Dre, $2. It's peace, quiet, and freedom. Okay, I'll get it. I'll get it. You know my point. Luis, 10 generous dollars. My favorite manhwa mentioned a people of the nation should dream the same thing. The sadness I felt about the America I grew up with died was summed in that, and that others had a different dream. I understand people having different dreams, right? Somebody's dream is to raise wiener dogs. Another one's dream is to fix motorcycles. A third guy's dream is just to be, white picket fence, ward cleaver. But most people's dream now in America is to be fat, do drugs, and avoid work. And then live and have the biggest luxury they have is to blame their misery on somebody else. That's it. That's the American dream right now. Free shit, don't have to work, not my fault. Which is pretty much the Democrat platform. John Burston, $2. Ever read LinkedIn Lunatics? Right up your alley. No, I should probably read that. Dre, $2. Men knows not to not trust society and their fellow man. Right. Inquisitor Tibby, 20 generous. Today's gas paid by Inquisitor Tibby. I don't remember when the article came out, but in the UK, they raised wages for some group of women to the same level of trash collectors. Surprise, surprise, the men stopped working and the garbage piled up. Ladies and society, I hope you make the most fair outcome society ever. I hope everything is equal. I hope you make everything equal, because then you're going to find out there's no food in the shelves and there's no garbage collections. Because different jobs are not equal. Different people are not equal. Some people work, other people are Democrats. Or in the United Kingdom's place, Le Boer. Is boer douchebag in French? It's the douchebag, Le Boer. Mad Dog, $5. Wait, did I get everything? Yep. 34 as of today. I just take solo hiking, golfing, fishing trips. Can't be bothered with can't understand normal thinkers right now. Yeah. It's so sad once you actually go out and do your own thing and you enjoy your own life and you're not worrying about like satisfying what society wants out of you. Also in the time really adds up. Free time really adds up, and so does your money. Right? Clothes alone. Where'd you go? Okay, did you go to Goodwill? Yes, I did. So I don't have to work an extra 45 minutes to pay for a pair of pants. I don't know where you get to hike so much. I don't know, because I didn't spend 45 minutes working to buy a $45 pair of pants. I know where your $45 went. Daddy and a caddy, $2. Galloway admitted to being a sucker for approval. Shh. shocking. Well, then he should stop calling his wife a partner and call her my woman. Here's my woman folk. Little Wyoming in you. Do dang diggly do. Truck. Shark, hey, what's up, Shark? Everyone subscribe to Shark's channel. 20 generous dollars. You know what men care about these days? Their peace and quiet. And Sharks. Friendly reminder that today is Shark Awareness Day. Now, Shark has a great channel where it's very calm, relaxing music, and he tells you everything you know about sharks. And I will agree with Shark, having listened to a couple of them. Just like dogs, sharks are better than people. They are. So if you guys kindly would subscribe to Shark Taz, and we'll celebrate Shark Awareness Day. Killer Clowns, $2. But Cappy, isn't Lizzo the ID female sex bot? Yeah, exactly. Right. And remember Calvin Klein? Remember you took the fat black dude claiming he was pregnant and he was in a diaper and he was standing next to some ugly white chick. Do you remember that Calvin Klein ad? No. Society, you're wrong. Remember Victoria's Secrets where they literally had ugly women and mutilated bodies and plus size models in for lingerie? You're wrong. We are saying you are wrong. But by all means, ladies and gentlemen, keep doing the fucking drugs. Keep living in Delulu land. Dre, $2. Once you know no one cares about you, why have an ego? Right. Thank you, Dre. Not only why have an ego, why get upset? Right? Unless they're physically or personally attacking you somehow, which is where I could see some men hating feminists because it's always we're the bad guys and da-da-da. But once you realize we don't like you, it's one thing for society to say we don't like you, get out of society. You might feel sad that you got ostracized. But when that, like, let's go medieval towns, right? Let's go to medieval town where ostracization or excommunication would have been a death sentence. We're kicking out of the safety of the walls. The bandits or the slave traders will get you. You've done something horrible. And then you're out there in the cold. You got no support. No one's trading with you. You got to go claw your way back out of living in the woods. And you look off on a hill. You're looking into that town. And they got a nice warm fire. And there's community and whatever else. And there's guards. Right? That's not happening today. Because that indicates you probably did something wrong. Society, you were a liability on society. They kicked you out. And society continues to grow and progress. This is like they kicked you out of the town and then you're sitting there, whatever. You might be lonely, but you look in and the place is on fire and there's people shitting in the streets and their kids are having their junk cut off. Modern day San Francisco. And there's only fat chicks to have sex with and no one's protecting the border, right? You're right. They're wrong. And once you realize, man, I don't want to be part of that club. I don't want to be part of the adult shitting in the streets club. That's basically it, right? The fat, ugly women in lingerie, adult Democrats shitting at the Democrat Party, right? I don't want to be part of it. Oh, you just killed in hacking, loser. Hey, your wife is fucking the pool boy and enjoy your mortgage. Bye. Yeah, I guess I don't have a Mercedes there, Chip. Yeah. What do you care what do you care what a debauched, degenerate culture thinks of you? Oh no, the academia doesn't like me. Oh no. Journalists said I'm a bad guy. Go here, I'll give you another. Go look up all the journalists that wrote articles about me on the Mad Max. Like I wasn't going to watch Mad Max because they're all saying it was feminism. Go look them up. They're all losers. But at the time, oh my God. I mean, not only are they like losers professionally, but look at them physically. They're ugly people. I'm sure there's a couple good looking ones, but they're ugly people. Oh no. A journo said something about me that she didn't like. All right, last one. Vic, $5. Renouncing women and materialism forever opens up tons of doors. I wouldn't say renounce women. I'm not become a very good judge of when they're going to waste your time. But I get your overall point. Can open up tons of doors, can travel anywhere, work at night, make bank with overtime, work in the oil fields, etc. Correct. All right, that's it. Cappy's got to go. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.